Hello and welcome to a longer form lecture. I'm the Concrete Yogi. My name's Dominic Napa, and I'm excited to share with you guys this little bit longer form of a video. I've been doing the shorts where I've been sharing a word of the day, and that's good to get the very concise and terse definition out there so that it can start to influence people's practices. But today I wanted to take a little bit more time and delve into a term that can take all these other little terms and really bring them up to the forefront of the practice, whether it's on the mat or in everyday life. So the word is abhyasa, Abhyasa, abhyasa. So I just did a video on this, I think yesterday, on Instagram, just to give a little brief understanding. And that took a couple minutes, but I wanted to go in deeper because I feel like it's one word that there are many preliminary words or prerequisite words that need to be understood before that abhyasa can truly be tackled. So, abhyasa varagyabhyam ta nirodha. I'm not sure if it's the 12th or the 13th sutra, but it's one of the early ones from Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, and it's very, very important. The first 4 sutras, he starts to define yoga. The next 5, he defines the vrittis, which are the vortexing thoughts within the intellect and the emotional mind. But then he starts to tell us of very specific guidelines, very specific instruction, and it's why I want to shine a light on this word, because nowhere in the sutras does he tell us of the exercising component of the practice. Nowhere in the ancient texts does yoga facilitate the theme of exercise. The asana, yes. The posturing, yes. That's always been to stay fit, to be able to sit comfortably and meditate. Well, the abhyasa is repetition. Okay, abhyasa means repetition. Well, what are we repeating? What is being done repetitively? Well, if you're a yoga practitioner that enjoys the practice on the mat, the asana practice on the mat, well, then you've probably done a lot of sun salutations. You've probably done them with abhyas. You've probably done a lot of downward facing dogs. You've done those with high repetition. And it comes to the point where you don't have to think about it anymore, where you literally transcend the idea of thinking and moving. And you're just watching the mind move the body. It's a beautiful, beautiful state to find. So that's through the postures. That's through the sun salutations. I will never take that away from that specific utilization of abhyasa, because repetition does lead us to transcendence. In that story that I did on abhyasa, I gave the example of brushing your teeth, and I could use so many more examples. Something like eating food, cutting with a fork and knife. When we first started doing that, it took time. As a child, you couldn't even do it. Your parents would do it for you. And then they taught you slowly how to do it, what knife to use, and how to cut your food. Now you don't have to think about it, right? Someone could be in full conversation and, excuse me, hold on one second, just don't talk to me. I have to really dial in my focus. I'm going to cut this. Here we go. Okay, so fork goes in, and then I pull. Wait, no. I push, pull, and I move it. There's none of that. You know immediately what to do. You can probably chop without even looking at your hands, some of you. So, that repetition led you to transcend the thought process, the focus, and the idea of instruction, okay? The same way, as we get deeper into this practice, the necessity for instruction is lessened, right? If someone is just starting yoga, I have to go in very, very detailed cues so that they can do a proper downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, yeah, we all know and love it as a bridging posture, and sometimes a resting posture. But for the first few attempts at it, it's not comfortable, it's not easy, and it's not something that's accessible to the modern man or modern person, really, because of the utilization of chairs and couches and everything, all of our movement patterns. So now take that person and say they've been doing yoga for 30 years. They've been doing yoga almost as long as this body's been alive. And I see their down dog. It looks, wow, spot on. But they might be able to change this and change that. Very, very nuanced components to that posture. So what happens for the practitioner? I say downward facing dog, they go right into it. But then they get these nuanced teachings, and when they utilize them, they access a deeper component of the posture, right? The nuanced teachings lead to nuanced realizations, nuanced feelings, a heightened expression of the posture. Nothing was moved. Not a handstand came out of the down dog. It's still just a downward facing dog, but the introspective component was heightened. So that means the posture was deepened, okay? So take that now and translate it into the teachings of the ancient texts and say that off the mat, all of these practices that you'll hear me talk about at great length in other videos, they're supposed to be done in high repetition. In the same way, you might do it, you might be at the very beginning, so you have to know in high detail how to do it. You have to get very clear-cut instruction from someone who knows what to do and how to do it. But then eventually you'll be practicing for years, and someone could just speak of the teachings and you know where to go, but you're still waiting, and you get them. Eventually, you get them. If you keep seeking, you'll eventually find the nuanced teachings, just like that teacher that could go up and change the nuanced components of the downward facing dog. A teacher will enter into your life, a teacher will appear, that will be able to teach you the nuanced teachings, the subtlest and the highest realizations will then be attainable by you. So this word abhyasa, it is very, very relative. Remember that. All of these words are very, very relative. When I speak of them, it's not to say you're not a yoga practitioner unless you do these. No. It's to say no matter where you are as a yogic practitioner, understand this word and know that no matter where you are as a yoga practitioner, there's always somewhere higher to go, higher limb to climb for. All right? And that's coming from me too. I was asked the other day, how long did it take you to study? How long were you a student of this yoga before you became a teacher? And I said, well, I gave the explanation of how long it took for me to really gather the knowledge to where I felt comfortable becoming a yogic teacher, someone who respects the ancient components, thousands and thousands of years old, and wanted to know what those teachings were in the purest form. And once I gathered that, I realized I'd be a student for the rest of my life, looking for more nuance, looking for more subtle, looking for the more esoteric components within the practice so that I can add them into my list of abhyasa. So do the same thing. Wherever you are, become inquisitive. Dig, scratch at the itch of knowledge and keep going. Because just like I will always tell you, you are loved. You are loved unconditionally, uncircumstantially. Wherever you are, you're doing great. Don't give up. Keep going. And remember that you are loved. I hope you are all having a beautiful, beautiful day. I know it's a little bit longer of a video, but this won't be the longest. If you're still with me here, thank you so much. If you did find this enjoyable, please drop a like. And if you'd like to keep up with the channel, it would really help me out if you subscribed. I'll be doing some longer form videos at some times, but I like this length right here, right around 10 minutes. There will be times where I want to do 30, 45-minute videos and really dive into some of these topics at the fullest extent. Hope you're along for the ride, and I can't thank you enough for watching. Have a blessed day. Peace.